Now, if we take a look at the webpage of club football, sponsors ranging from education to grocery stores to airlines dot the online portal of the company. Is this the stable revenue driver for club football, or should the company diversify its revenue streams even more?
Englishman Rowan Simmons has lived in China for about 20 years. Coming from the home of modern football, he saw a business opportunity in amateur football in China. Club football brings the English tradition of local football clubs to China, adding a few Chinese characteristics.
The first objective was to find football for ourselves to play and our friends. We all love to play, so who's going to organise our matches? As we get older, we had kids. Who's going to organise our kids' matches? And it was that, a solution for ourselves that was the real start. And as I say, in many other countries, football is a business. So definitely our final objective is to prove that football can survive in China and can grow and thrive in China as a business.
Unlike most amateur football clubs in China, club football does not have a semi-professional team of players. But what it does have is a professional league management team. This team generates a significant portion of the company's profits. They arrange one league every season and have imported the system of promotion and relegation from England.
So overall we have around 100 teams who play in our five-a-side league. That's the Etihad Airways Club Football Five-a-Side League, which we play at Chaoyang Park and Suda Park. So altogether, these probably account for sort of 10 to 15% of our revenues.
Amateur football in Beijing is often very local, but club football is able to cover a very big area. They're filling a gap that probably should have been filled by a specialized organization, but they're doing it, and they're doing it very well. They work very methodically. They've been around for a long time. I first began hearing about them in 2005. I think they're still growing steadily.
While many professional clubs in China are struggling to find sponsors, advertisement banners are a colorful presence in club football's league games.
I think that one of the main reasons why we're able to attract sponsors, and particularly international sponsors, is that we are also an international club. Any sponsor wants to see a good brand match and the right sort of demographics. So having people from 80 different countries all over the world spreading the message and showing support to grassroots football in China is really a very positive platform from which to begin.
On Club Football's website displays advertisements for their various sponsors, which include providers of education, health, food, transportation, and other types of services relevant to their target group. Many of the sponsors also provide the club members with special benefits, like discounts on their services. The support of their sponsors, combined with the club's use of coaches certified by the English Football Association, have enabled club football to attract aspiring football talents from all over Beijing. In order to meet demand, they have established more than 10 training grounds and places to register across the city.
But these days, Professor, sponsors have so many sports to choose from, right? First of all, why would a sponsor choose football or soccer, whatever you want to call it? And why sponsor a football club here in China?
Soccer is a very popular sport in China, perhaps with more fans, more players, and a higher penetration rate compared to other sports. And which means the return on sponsoring soccer is likely to be the highest. So let's take a look at the cost to build up a brand in China by sponsoring different sports and using different advertising strategies to illustrate that point. So what we're looking at here, this is a study done in a region in China with a population around 100 million people. And basically, if you were to build up a brand in that region by sponsoring soccer, and these numbers are normalized, it will cost you, let's say, $1 to do that. But in comparison, if you were to build the same brand, but by sponsoring alternative, other type of sports, it will cost you approximately $2 to do the same thing. And if you were to follow traditional advertising venues, TVs and newspapers, it will cost you $10 to achieve that same goal, right? So a simple comparison tells you, well, it actually makes more sense to sponsor soccer because the cost is lower and the return is actually higher.
So do you think that sponsorships should actually be one of the main revenue drivers for CCF, or should the company diversify its revenue mix a little bit even more towards value-added services the league provides, or more fees from the players that actually participate in the league?
That's an interesting question, Michael. And I think at the moment for CCF, sponsorship is actually not its main source of revenue. And I think at a high level, the company should be reaching out and look for other sources of revenue. A couple of reasons for that. One is sponsorship can be very volatile, especially for amateur club like CCF that doesn't really have a very sound brand name, doesn't have its own team and star players. So it can be very difficult to attract a stable sponsorship over time. And also, if you focus too much on sponsorship and become too reliant on a single source of revenue, then you're effectively putting all the eggs in the same basket, right? And this will create this high concentration risk. So a small tremor to your sponsor can be a huge earthquake for the company.
Right, Professor. So don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your revenue streams, because for China Club Football, it is managing an amateur league. So if sponsorships get hit, that hits their credibility as well. All right, Professor, thank you very much for that segment. So this is where club football currently stands. It provides a service that sees no shortage of demand from China's urbanites, but can it attract the necessary investments to expand beyond the football pitches of Beijing? Can it offer value adds beyond just a leisure game of football? We'll talk about club football's future coming up next. But before we go, just another reminder, you can always follow us on WeChat, Weibo, Facebook, and YouTube to get this and all the latest New Money episodes. Don't go away.